Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 443 based on novel. So let's start. 3 fierce attacks hit Xiao Yan's body in an instant, but it was not as terrifying as he imagined. How is that possible? What kind of power is that? The 3 elf men stared dully at the figure entrenched in the sky. At this time, Xiao Yan was not only filled with grey thunder, but even more, a trace of extremely ancient cyan dragon scales emerged. The power has increased to the limit. Dragon transformation, the scale of dominance. Under this fleeting, terrifying defense, the 3's attack was as weak as a tickling. Don't waste my time. Xiao Yan waved his big hand, and the figure of Long Hua was withdrawn. The arm surrounded by thunder protruded toward the 3 of them at the same time, and the extremely fierce thunder snakes filed out. 3 silver thunder dragons, crawling and meandering, wrapped around the 3 elf men almost in the blink of an eye, bursting with earth-shattering terrifying sounds, restricting their ability to exert their power and escape plans. Go! Seeing that Lei Sai beast was completely absorbed by Xiao Yang, and the 3 of them were all attacked by Xiao Yang, a cold light appeared on the face of the red-robed man, and a cold voice emerged. Although the strength of this human being is weak, once he fights with him, the fighting power that erupts from his seemingly weak body, even he is helpless as a reincarnation rank. This matter must be reported to Her Royal Highness Princess Alice as soon as possible. Withdraw. The red-robed man's voice fell, and without any hesitation, they instantly turned into 3 beams of light, breaking through the weak point of the formation space, and the speed was as fast as lightning, making it impossible to prevent. The 3 of you are so anxious. Where are you planning to go? However, before the 3 of them broke through the space of the formation, a void began to wriggle. Xiao Yang walked out of it leisurely, smiling and looking at the 3 people beside him. The terrifying grey thunderbolt on his body was beating slightly, releasing an appalling and terrifying power. Human, if you move. Stop talking nonsense. After some tossing, Xiao Yang directly knocked the 3 guys unconscious, and the grey thunder formed a chain to bind them firmly. The thunder-type bucket core has absorbed the power of Lei Sai beast, and it seems to be more and more dazzling. The strength of the battle formation master also needs to collect the divine inscriptions. Go and gather with them first. I hope Xiao Yi is all right. After speaking, the formation space was cancelled, and Xiao Yang led the 3 of them to the rear. He simply had the formation space to block, otherwise such a big battle movement would definitely disturb other powerhouses. Master Xiao Yang. When Joshin watched Xiao Yang walk over with 3 dazed and charming figures, he felt astonished. Although the combined power of these 3 guys is terrifying, it can't make waves in my hands. Xiao Yang casually threw them at the 2 of them. These were all internal disputes among the elves. Unless absolutely necessary, Xiao Yang would not kill them. Although these 3 guys are in a coma, their strength is extremely strange. The extreme fire attributes of the 3 people will mutate after the union, and they can summon the thunder-type creature Lei Sai beast. In the first battle, it was a pity to meet Xiao Yang. The grey thunder on Xiao Yang's body is the power of the Thunder Lord. Even if the power of the Thunder Lord is the slightest source, it is by no means comparable to this kind of reincarnation. Master Xiao Yang's divine might is truly extraordinary. It was confirmed that the 3 of them were okay, but they were temporarily unconscious because of the enormous power, Shimo said with a smile. Stop gossiping. I came here this time for Xiao Yi, so what is Xiao Yi's current situation? Xiao Yang came to Shimo's side and stared at this so-called elf man who was guarded by Xiao Yi. This guy is no different from an ordinary elf man, with pointed ears and a slightly long nose, but with scars on his body. He obviously experienced a terrifying battle. Sir, it's the truth. The situation of our southern tribes is probably precarious now. Princess Alice of the western tribe integrated their entire tribe and tried to catch me all at once. The 3 in front of them are among the best in the western tribe, the 3 Lei Ling envoys. The 3 of them together can fight against the first-level reincarnation powerhouse. Our southern tribe's top battles only have 2 elders, one of the first level and the other of the reincarnation. In addition, the 8-star fighting immortals are like me. In the past few days, there have been many strong elves from the western tribe suddenly appearing on the edge of our tribe. Mr. Yi scattered the tribe's power and tried to trace the trail, but he was caught by the tricks of the western tribe. Shimo shook his head slightly, and there was a hint of remorse in his voice. After all, he was only a complete 8-star fighting immortal, so it was not easy to hold the 3 of them. Is Xiao Yi okay? Xiao Yang's heart agitated, but he still asked in a deep voice. Sir Xiaoyi and the 2 reincarnation-level elders are sitting in the tribe, and I will take the adults there. I heard that Mr. Xiao Yi mentioned you a long time ago. When I saw you today, it was really extraordinary. Shimo grinned and said, Xiao Yang is weak, but after defeating Lei Ling's 3 envoys, no one dares to underestimate him now. Whoa! Suddenly, when the 3 of them were about to move, in the distant sky, an unusually harsh humming sound came out like a crisp eagle cry. What happened? Xiao Yang noticed that when this humming sound came out, the expressions of Jiuxin and Shimo in front of him appeared dignified. This is our tribe's rallying signal. I'm afraid someone is coming. Master Xiao Yang, please follow me. Shimo didn't care about anything else, his body surging, turned into a meteor, and swept away in the direction of their tribe. Lei Ling's 3 envoys are handed over to you. I'll take Aisha. Go. Xiao Yang took Aisha, and under the leadership of Shimo, they went to the southern land. No matter who it was, if it was bad for Xiao Yi, he would be the first to refuse. In the huge space of the Sea of the Sky, the area is vast, the colors are colorful, and it is as beautiful as a fairyland on earth, with fairy spirit lingering. At this time, near the southernmost prosperous land of the Sea of Heaven, the air here is filled with an unprecedented smell of gunpowder and war, which makes people feel refreshed. Boom! Above the war-torn space, elven figures of different shapes are fighting tirelessly, and in the center of the distance, an extremely large island isolates all power, but at this time, the situation inside does not seem to be very good. In the huge island, the energy is so suffocating that it is like a viscous liquid now inside here. Violent energy fluctuations are transmitted, accompanied by an extremely fierce shock wave, overwhelming the sky and the earth. Ravages this elf island. For the tribe. For Lord Xiao Yi. Come on. Kill all the enemies who invade our tribe. In the island, bloodlight continued to emerge, and the roar was incessant, but it still could not change the situation of defeat. My lord, the combatants of the southern tribe are now all captured, and there are only less than 100 people left to resist, including the 2 Samsara elders and Lord Xiao Yi. All of them have shrunk in the elf island. We tried to suppress the elf island with absolute power to capture Mr. Yi, but we were bombarded by some kind of extremely ancient flame. That kind of power seems to be the power of flames remaining in the reincarnation mark on Mr. Yi's body. On the ground deep in the smooth forest, a team of only 10 people appeared here, but in this team of only 10 people, the weakest people were all in the late stage of the 8-star fighting immortals. Even for the first 3 old men, the looming fluctuations emanating from their bodies are extremely terrifying. That kind of power is reincarnation. 3 reincarnations. Pass my order to bring all the captives of the southern tribe. More, you are responsible. It is rumored that Mr. Yi from the southern tribe is a master of kindness and power. This time, the southern tribe was broken by Her Royal Highness's little trick, but I want to see if his own life is more important or his subordinates are more important. In the words of the headed old man, a faint confident expression emerged, and he was calm, as if all this was just a joke in his opinion. Yes, Mr. Chief. The elf man who was called Moore by the old man respectfully said. The fire elves have a deep heritage, and they are definitely not outsiders, but they are fighting for the election. The area of the elf island is extremely large, covering about 100 miles, but now it is surrounded by many strong men from the western tribe, and the compression is only 1 kilometer. On the periphery of the elf island, there is a river of about tens of meters flowing. Above this river, countless purple flames linger, and every beat will try to bypass the river and step into the elf island. Repel. It seems that this purple flame has a fatal threat to them. The elf island was wrapped by a layer of energy barrier, and around the edge of the barrier, circles of purple flames lingered, and the last remaining piece of paradise was tightly protected, and even in the purple flames, there was a charming and fairy figure. If it is looming, under that kind of power, even the reincarnation powerhouse can only be dimmed. Sir, take some medicine pills to restore your strength. At this time, inside the elf island, in the quiet mountain stream, beside an imposing man, there are 2 old figures and a beautiful and colorful elf woman. The man sat cross-legged on a rock, his eyes contained some kind of ancient fluctuations, and even at the center of his eyebrows, a trace of purple flames formed a special and mysterious mark, beating slowly. With a slender body and handsome cheeks, there is clearly a sullen aura, but this figure is very familiar to Xiao Yang. Xiao Yi. Today's Xiaoyi is no longer the new fire spirit that he used to be, with the growth of the holy flame embryo and the seal of reincarnation, and his status is already the commander of the southern tribe of the 3 major tribes. Some fight. Pills to restore vindictive energy, as well as pills to restore injuries, distribute them to the injured brothers. After Xiao Yi glanced around, She saw that the injuries on the elf who followed her behind her were not optimistic, and a rare coldness appeared in her eyes. My lord, the situation is in crisis now. Later, we will gather everyone's strength to forcibly break through the void and send you away from the sea of heaven. It seems that after thinking for a long time, the two Samsara elders spoke to Xiao Yi. Second seniors, who are you? Xiao Yi was dumbfounded. There was a strong murderous aura in her eyes. This time she was indeed negligent. My lord, Princess Alice sent the army of the Western tribe to attack us, and we were caught off guard. Moreover, the fighting strength between our two tribes is not proportional. Once you are caught, the last hope of our southern tribe will be completely annihilated. As long as you can wake up the things that have been sleeping in the fire elves for a long time, everything we do is worth it. It's a pity that the other two tribes made such absurd actions for their own selfishness. They are obviously targeting you, Lord. Sir, if you are captured, the two electors will disregard the life of the Lord and forcibly seize the imprint of reincarnation in the body of the Lord, and then. The two elders couldn't help but look gloomy and worried. On the other hand, the other elves not far away were originally handsome men and women with dignified appearance, but now their cheeks are disfigured, their clothes are dripping with blood, and there are large and small scars on their arms and bodies, which greatly reduces their combat effectiveness. If I leave, then all of you will fall here completely. Don't talk about it anymore. Even if we fight to the last soldier, there will never be any traitors in our southern tribe who escape without authorization. Xiao Yi waved her hand and said decisively. There was a strong sense of relief in the eyes of the two reincarnation elders. Although this adult has a very good temperament and is decisive in killing, but now it is difficult for him to protect himself. Boom. Just as everyone was talking, a loud voice emerged from outside the elf island. What happened? Xiao Yi hurriedly got up and asked the group of elf guards behind her. Hey, Mr. Yi, what do you think this is? A spooky laughter echoed straight from the space outside the elf island. Squeak. With a sound, the elf man Moore just appeared on the edge of the purple fire river, his body instantly lifted into the air, and with a wave of his palm, two dying figures emerged from the void. The aura on the two guys was extremely weak, and the elf shackles bound their figures firmly. That's the second of the three bodyguards of Lord Xiao Yi? This crazy guy. Dozens of elves in the elf island saw this, their fists rubbed together, and their eyes turned red unconsciously. Kneel down for me. The elf man Moore, who appeared behind him, had a trace of contempt at the corner of his mouth. With a flick of his finger, he pierced the ankles of the two men, and the blood flowed out uncontrollably, seems to be deliberately provoking Xiao Yi. More. Don't go too far. The headquarters used to have clear rules that no damage should occur in internal battles. You are trying to provoke the authority of the headquarters of the fire elves. In the elf island, the elf woman beside Xiao Yi roared, and the thick anger slanted out like a volcanic eruption. Hey, the rule issued by the headquarters is that death and injury are strictly prohibited. I did this just to teach some ignorant guys a lesson, so it makes sense. It is rumored that the commander of the southern tribe, Lord Xiao Yi, is a bright master, but now it seems that his name is not true. I count to 3. If I don't show up, I will kill the two of them. For the victory of Her Royal Highness the Princess, even if I bear the guilt, it's okay. Moore sneered and said, the void around him trembled slightly, as if it contained some kind of terrifying power. 1. A long voice sounded stinging the elves in the fairy island. The sound was more like a death bell. Once it reached the realm, I am afraid. Sir, you can't go. This is clearly a conspiracy. The two Samsara elders said with trembling voices. They knew Xiao Yi's heart very well. Now, is there any other better way? Xiao Yi got up, the purple flames spread slightly all over her body, and a beautiful female ghost appeared. Even so, it couldn't hide the feeling of weakness on Xiao Yi's body. 2. Crack. When he counted to 2, Moore's palm rolled, and a bunch of brown flames emerged. Then, without any cover, it fell directly into the souls of the two elf men. The painful touch made their faces distorted. It seems that it will completely fall at any time. Grown-ups. Come on, this is a conspiracy. Leave us alone. It is my honor to be your subordinate in this life. Self-destruction, elf glory. The two looked at each other, and then bursts of dazzling light appeared all over their bodies, and righteousness emerged, unexpectedly wanting to use self-destruction to ease the current difficult situation. Want to blow yourself up? It's not that easy. Elfmark, suppress me. Moore snorted coldly and suppressed the restless elf source within the two people between his hands. Suddenly, the dazzling and violent energy in the surrounding space returned to calm under everyone's attention. It seems that the so-called Mingzhu will disregard your life and death at critical moments. In that case, it's better to be under the command of our princess. Moore's sarcastic voice never stopped, as if he was deliberately provoking the patience of Xiao Yi and the others. Sir, this is... What about adults? The two reincarnation elders and the elf woman looked to the rear together, but found that Xiao Yi's figure disappeared in an instant. 3. At the end of the sound, overwhelming energy slanted out of Moore's body, like a dazzling energy blade lingering on the palm of his hand. Sen Lung's attack cut his wrists at the throats of the two. My subordinate, it's not easy for you to insult like this. A light voice, faintly emerged from a tiny gap above the energy barrier of the elf island, resounding like thunder, filling the minds of countless elf powerhouses. At this time, a slender figure crossed this. Even Moore's attack was broken by his teamwork. Sure enough, he is a master, but... Space Seal. Moore raised his palm, his boundless smile was undisguised, and the dazzling aura of space jumped over the purple fire river instantly, blocking the retreat behind Xiao Yi. Lead out Xiao Yi and cut off her retreat. This is his purpose. Then you can try. In Xiao Yi's eyes, the purple flames roared fiercely, and a strong killing intent permeated from her body. Her anger was suppressed to the limit, and Xiao Yi naturally wouldn't take into account the rules promulgated by the Fire Spirit headquarters. These Western tribe guys are too deceiving. If you keep being a tortoise with a shrunken head, all of us can't help you. It's a pity. If you can't bear it, you will make a big plan. The three adults, I will leave it to you next. Moore sneered. The surrounding void seemed to be collapsed by some extremely terrifying force, and three extremely terrifying auras emerged. Hehe, Xiao Yi, let's take it as soon as you can. The three vigorous old men faintly appeared. There are certain lines on the old faces, which are extremely mysterious, but no matter who they are, the breath contained in their bodies is by no means comparable to simple people. The two are at the peak of the reincarnation order, and the other is in the first reincarnation order, the true heritage of the Western tribe. The chief of the Western tribe, the two reincarnation elders. You really look up to me, Xiao Yi said with a faint smile. The purple flames in her eyes became more and more intense, and even the reincarnation mark at the center of her eyebrows showed a gentle warmth. Go. Catch him alive. The voice of the old chief fell, and the two samsara elders around him turned into two beams of light, quickly chasing and killing Xiao Yi, crossing the void along the way, bringing up brown flames, shaking the world. Crack. With a sound, when the two samsara elders of the Western tribe approached Xiao Yi, they were suddenly burst with energy ripples. My lord, I am willing to swear to follow your lord. Kill. The two reincarnation elders in the southern tribe took the lead, all the remaining elf men emerged, and the elf woman accompanied Xiao Yi from beginning to end, as if protecting him. Go. Crash. A wave of terrifying confrontations began, and endless gunpowder smoke filled the void here. Since that's the case, let me arrest you myself. Elf secret skills. The voice of the chief of the Western tribe sounded, and bursts of brown flames emerged from the entire body. The flames formed an extremely sharp blade, and there were bursts of cold light surging at the tip of the blade. The sound of buzzing sounded, the chief's body sank into the void, and when Du appeared, he had already come to Xiao Yi a few meters away, holding a flaming blade, and killing Xiao Yi's key point. The purple flame surged in Xiao Yi's eyes, wrapped around her palm, and resisted directly against the flaming blade of the elder chief. Crack. A sound. The first level of reincarnation is really extraordinary. Xiao Yi thought so in her heart. At the same time, her body trembled and retreated rapidly, and the strength in her body became turbulent and rolling. Obviously, after a simple fight, Xiao Yi has been disturbed by the so-called chieftain in her body. After the power in Xiao Yi's body was shaken with one blow, the elf chief looked lazy, and with a casual shot, several energy beams appeared around him. The breath contained an irresistible terrifying power, and then without exception, he hit and came to the rescue on Xiao Yi's elf powerhouse. Their strengths are almost all at the 8-star fighting immortal level, and how viciously hit their bodies by the samsara level attacks, their bodies collapsed violently like a spasm. Reincarnation level attacks are extremely destructive for these elf warriors who support Xiao Yi. The weaker ones are covered in blood mist, with bloodstains on their skin, and those who are stronger and stronger, their bodies are also rapidly retreating. The bodies of the digital elf warriors fell towards the ground like a fallen flower and a willow. Crack. The two reincarnation elders in the southern tribe knew that now the southern tribe's strength was scattered, and it was impossible for them to be their opponents. Immediately, the power was shocked, and the two reincarnation powerhouses of the western tribe were instantly shaken back, secretly working together to build a deep space isle. A space channel. The old chief frowned, and his eyes fell on a black cloud layer behind the two Samsara elders. In the black cloud layer, an extremely majestic power of space emerged, which is obviously a channel connecting the outside world. Lena, take the adults to go, the current sea of the sky can't be left. The two reincarnation elders desperately resisted the attacks of many elf warriors, the handprints changed like lightning, and the space passages were looming in the black clouds. Sir, follow me. Lena ignored Xiao Yi's rising purple flame, stretched out her slender hand, pulled Xiao Yi directly, and swept away into the black clouds. Lena, thank you. But a manly man should carry a 3-footed sword, and make an indelible feat. I can't go. While speaking, on Xiao Yi's body, billowing purple flames fell like thunder, embellishing the entire space. Why are you standing still? Come on. The two reincarnation elders roared desperately, the power in their bodies was close to withering, and they roared as they watched Xiao Yi and Lena motionless. Want to go? How can it be so easy? The old chief seized the opportunity to shoot, and the overwhelming turbulent energy blasted away fiercely at Xiao Yi and the space clouds. The terrifying energy contained in it, if it hit any strong person, even Samsara would only be saddened. Go. Xiao Yi pulled out the elf woman Lena beside her, and immediately her body came into contact with the aftermath of the former's attack. Xiao Yi suffered this severe injury, a mouthful of blood spurted out, her face was extremely pale, and the purple flames all over her body became dim. This is just the aftermath, and it has such terrifying power if the Real attack falls, I am afraid. Go ahead and kill everyone here. The old chief took the lead in attacking, and as his palms rolled, terrifying power attacked the remaining dozens of elf warriors who were stubbornly resisting. Ziji Tianying. Xiao Yi watched the countless bursts of energy blasting out from around her, the reincarnation mark between her eyebrows was shining brightly, and a beautiful giant shadow of the sky enveloped all the elf warrior. Creak. Even though Xiao Yi has the increase of the reincarnation seal, the mere 8-star fighting immortal is full of strength, and still has to protect so many strong people. The huge soul shadow collapsed and opened almost instantly under the invasion of this terrible power. Xiao Yi's body, under the attack of this huge pressure and destructive force, began to twist, and blood surging frantically, seeping out from the ears, nose, paws, etc. Damn! Are you going to die? Looking at the approaching death beam, Xiao Yi's body was difficult to move, she only felt a smear of tragic pain all over her body, causing Xiao Yi Juanmei's face to have a thick grim look, and a low roar sounded. In the distance, a flaming beast of thousands of meters, under the expressionless control of the old chief, quickly attacked Xiao Yi. In that kind of battle, the only thing that awaits everyone is the destruction. Sir Xiao Yi. The many elf warriors under the protection of Xiao Yi's power watched Xiao Yi in such a crisis. Her paws swelled, blood bursting out of her body uncontrollably, her eyes were scarlet, and they vowed to fight these for life and death. Among the fire elves, there have been many branches since ancient times. If it weren't for the leadership of Xiao Yi, the people in their southern tribe would have been completely devoured by the other two tribes. Grown-ups. No. The elf girl Lena's body was surging, and she immediately crawled beside Xiao Yi. She was the first to notice that the purple flames on Xiao Yi's body suddenly showed signs of disintegrating. The soft body suddenly rushed towards Xiao Yi. There was a thick choking sound. Lena, let me go. Xiao Yi's complexion changed drastically, but all the power in her body boiled at almost the same time. With that level of power fluctuations, I am afraid there is no other way than self-destruction. With the seal of reincarnation, purple flames, and the power of the self-destruction of the 8-star Dozian, I am afraid it is enough to destroy the sky and destroy the earth. Little Yi, do you still remember the oath you made to me? I won't allow you to die without my order. Lena's eyes were red, she forcibly held back her sobbing, raised her delicate palm, and grabbed Xiao Yi's wrist viciously, trying to stop Xiao Yi's self-destruction. Don't worry, I promised you something. I will never break my promise. But I'm afraid it will be next time. Xiao Yi's voice was unusually gentle, but the aura in her body was like a volcanic crater, about to spew out. Everyone saw that Xiao Yi's body began to swell and wriggle, and purple flames swept out, burning the entire elf island, forming a gorgeous purple glow, which contained an indescribable terrifying wave. You big liar! Lena burst into tears and her eyes were red. She wanted to break free from Xiao Yi's power restraint, but she had no choice but to feel the soft thrust on her body, which was pushing all of them against the clouds in space. Go! With that kind of action, Xiao Yi wanted to use her own strength to block the attack of the elder chief and protect them all from here. To exchange your own life for the survival of the entire tribe is really a master. But today, no matter what kind of power you have, you can't escape bad luck. A cold light flashed in the eyes of the old chief, but he was extremely shameless about what Xiao Yi did. The speed of his body was as fast as lightning, and a light pattern with a slightly flickering brown pattern surging in the palm of his hand shot towards Xiao Yi. Boom! Xiao Yi exerted all her strength to the extreme, trying to send the rest of the people out of here, but in the face of the terrifying palm of the chieftain, her whole face was extremely grim, and there was an aura of death lingering from it. Die! Xiao Yi's seemingly terrifying defense and the terrifying energy generated on the eve of his self-destruction did not stop the elder chief for a single breath. The void is buzzing. With a sound, under the threat of this awe-inspiring offensive, Xiao Yi's body suddenly became icy cold, her bloodlines instantly solidified, her consciousness began to blur, and the purple flame contained in the imprint of reincarnation was even more madly surging. It seemed that the next moment it will totally explode. At this moment, the void around Xiao Yi's body suddenly split open, and a cyan object quickly zoomed in everyone's field of vision, shrouding Xiao Yi. With the protection of this object, Xiao Yi's pressure was greatly reduced. Bang bang bang! The old chief slapped it with a palm, but the reincarnation-level attack that was enough to easily obliterate Xiao Yi was like hitting a stubborn stone, without any energy ripples, and even caused the chief to spread out from the palm of his hand. The pain of the shockwave? What? The old chief had a blank look on his face. He only felt that the cyan objects that appeared beside Xiao Yi far exceeded his imagination. His body quickly retreated and his eyes kept looking around. The guy who can display this level of defense is by no means a simple generation. Mr. Chief, according to the voice transmission of the guards, it seems that someone is rushing towards here at a high speed. The identity is unknown. Among them, there is also one of Xiao Yi's 3 main bodyguards, Shimo's figure accompanying him. But the guards we dispatched to protect the southern tribe were all knocked unconscious. Conservatively estimate that the comer should be a reincarnation-level powerhouse, and a reinforcement from the southern tribe. The oncoming elf guard looked flustered and looked at the surrounding void vigilantly. The army of the southern tribe has already been captured and controlled by us, and there is no other reinforcement at all. It's strange. Give me a stop. The old chief waved his hand and stopped the battle here, because from the blue halo, there was a sense of fear that he had not seen for a long time. Boy, die. Hearing such a sentence, Moore didn't take it seriously. He was eager to make a contribution, and instantly vacated the figure, directly killing Xiao Yi. From his point of view, the cyan objects around Xiao Yi seem to be just a trivial defensive barrier. As long as he captures Xiao Yi himself, it is the first merit. Such merit and opportunity are not always available. Damn. Seeing Moore's attack, Xiao Yi responded coldly, and in the tumult of fighting chi in her body, she could only attach the purple flame to her skin to form a gauze of energy. Trying to resist, the power of self-destruction also became quiet. It seems that the blue object in front of you is somewhat similar to a turtle shell, and there is a rather familiar aura on it. What is it? Die. Moore's hands turned into eagle claws. The offensive swept away at Xiao Yi. The smile on the corner of his mouth was like a madman's heart palpitating. Crack. You can't be considered a fire elf if you use a black hand. 2 streams of light suddenly flashed out from a distance, and Moore's body, like a ball, was kicked out by a cyan figure, 1,000 kilometers away, and the sound of bones shattering, in this piece of heaven and earth. Extraordinarily harsh. At this moment, the audience is dead silent. A powerhouse who can make the 8-star fighting immortal perfection complete powerhouse play like an ant with 1 foot. What kind of sacredness is this? Moore was unsuspectingly kicked hundreds of meters by Xiao Yang. He was covered in scars, and even his life was on the verge of dying, causing many elf warriors in the western tribe to fear. When did such a terrifying powerhouse emerge from this southern tribe? And the nearly 100 people left in the southern tribe are also filled with countless questions. Who is this sudden scene? At this moment, the 2 men and horses stopped their attacks at the same time. They looked up at the sky not far from the elf island. The sound of hurried wind broke out, accompanied by a thin black-shirted man. The seemingly emaciated figure, but the power contained in his body makes everyone feel chills. The sudden change brought some subtle changes to this unsuspenseful battle. Not only the attacking western tribe and the others were stunned, but even the people in the southern tribe were shocked at this time. It seemed that they didn't know about all this, and it was far beyond his expectations. Everyone dared not act rashly, and looked up at the thin figure that appeared above the sky. The power contained in their bodies was unheard of, and the coercion brought by the invisible made the hearts of these fire elf warriors tremble. Stand up. Humph. Let you be brave. Seeing that nothing happened to Xiao Yi, Lena's face felt a little relieved, and she immediately opened her arms and firmly guarded Xiao Yi's body. This kind of action made people see that the relationship between the two was not very good. Unusual. Hey, miss, I am now the commander-in-chief of our southern tribe. At this time, Xiao Yi was also helpless and could only say with a doting face, but he was also extremely surprised. This sudden scene seemed a little familiar. I don't care. Lena is still doing her own way, she pouted and said, this girl's elf aura is more tyrannical than other elf women, although her strength is weak, her status is probably not low. The thin black shadow came in an instant. As soon as he appeared here, he glanced around indifferently. After he breathed, his eyes stayed on Xiao Yi and the two of them, as if he had some other intention. Where do humans come from? Can't you find death? The two 8-star fighting immortal perfection spirit warriors beside the Western tribe chief shouted angrily at Xiao Yang. As soon as they finished speaking, they swept away at Xiao Yang with one punch and one kick. The terrifying power actually caused the energy of this world to be faint. Get restless. Sir, be careful, these two are 8-star Dozian with complete strength. Xiao Yi only felt that the man in the black robe in front of him had a very familiar aura. In addition to being blocked by the black robe, he could not determine his true identity, so he could only remind him aloud. Behind Xiao Yang, a violent ghost appeared, his fists clenched into claw marks immediately, amber flames lingered out, and the claw marks waved, directly facing the two elf warriors and carrying them away. Crack. A sound. The seemingly terrifying blow of the two elf warriors was forcibly grasped by Xiao Yang's amber paw prints and vanish. Even a trace of burning pain remained on the two's cheeks forever. Your Excellency, this is the responsibility of my fire elves, and I hope. Looking at this scene, the two reincarnation powerhouses beside the chief elder stepped forward, and the warning in their voices was very obvious. The black robe above the black-robed man's body was instantly burnt out by amber flames, and endless anger spread out from the dark eyes. Get out of here. The flame of holy flame lingered on the fist, and punched the two guys in front of him with one punch. When the two Samsara elders saw this, they shot at the same time and fought with Xiao Yang. The three of them were intertwined like three stubborn stones, but the power that evaporated from Xiao Yang's fists brought countless fierce winds along the way, causing the reincarnation elder looked extremely ugly. If it is just the terrifying power above the fist, it is not difficult for the two elders of reincarnation to deal with it, but the amber flame contained in the fist has just emerged, and the entire void is burned into nothingness, and the terrifying aura contained in it makes people their hearts were extremely solemn, so the two of them couldn't help being beaten by Xiao Yang. This guy. Seeing that the strange flame and huge divine power actually turned the two Samsara elders around, everyone was surprised. You guy, let me find it easy, are you alright? After creating an extremely large movement that shocked many strong men in the Western tribe, Xiao Yang's body quietly retreated, swept towards Xiao Yi's side, slapped him on the shoulder, and the smile on the corner of his mouth was extremely warm. You. Lena looked at Xiao Yang's actions, but when she saw Xiao Yi, who had always been arrogant, she didn't push away, a doubt appeared on her little face. Yo, you kid, you are guarding yourself and stealing. This sister-in-law is quite nice. Lena's small actions naturally could not escape Xiao Yang's perception, and Xiao Yang suddenly burst into laughter. Second brother, you. Xiao Yi looked blank, but her voice was full of tiredness. I don't know since when, as long as Xiao Yang is by my side, I will feel very at ease, even if the sky falls, I will not be afraid. Although I am no longer what I used to be, this feeling still exists. After all, if it weren't for Xiao Yang's various actions, I'm afraid that Xiao Yi today still looks like a fire spirit, and at the time Xiao Yang, Xiao Yi and Long Yi were brothers of each other's age, so there was this scene. You guys have a good rest. Next, leave it to me. Xiao Yang smiled casually, his body straddled in front of the two of them, and his confident expression was undoubtedly evident. As for Xiao Yi, he had the protection of his lower body. Unless the old undead monsters in the Fire Elves family made a move, the reincarnation powerhouse who appeared now, no one can hurt them. Who is this? Being teased by Xiao Yang like this, a rare blush appeared on Lena's pretty face, like a burning cloud, but she was very happy. This is my second brother, Xiao Yang. Xiao Yi scratched her head and grinned. In her voice, there was a smile of relief that she had not seen for a long time. Humph. You still have vision. Lena pouted and smiled, but her delicate body was still in front of Xiao Yi. Second brother, this guy is the chief of the Western tribe. No matter his status or strength, he is second only to Alice. Be careful. His strength has reached the first level of reincarnation after weighing it. Xiao Yi reminded Xiao Yang aloud. Leave this guy to me. Can other elf warriors be able to deal with it? Of course, I mean that all the hostile elves who attacked your tribe today cannot let anyone go. Xiao Yang opened his mouth softly, but the anger contained in his voice had already been overwhelmed. These guys disregarded the rules of the fire elves and killed Xiao Yi and others from the southern tribe. Xiao Yang naturally did not intend to let them go easily. Them. Can. Xiao Yi, and the two Samsara elders and others behind them shared the same hatred. Now that Xiao Yang's arrival, they have seen new hope. Let's do it. I've heard about the unique flame technique of the fire elves, so let me come and ask for advice today. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, the aura around his body rose, the amber flames surging slightly, and the whole body shook violently. What? 8-star Doshian midterm strength. With this kind of strength, do you learn from others to pretend to be pigs and eat tigers? As for the people in the Western tribe, after seeing the exact strength of Xiao Yang's terrifying aura, they were quite surprised. This video will end here.